Alright everybody, sorry about that. I had to look for my audio mixer because there was apparently an update with OBS and it undocked all of my screens. All I had left was a big black screen, which is the one that you guys see. So, yeah, what a mess. So, yes, if anyone was wondering, no, I was not talking.
Echo.
How could there be an echo? Hang on one second. We are having a technical difficulty. You're not hearing an echo at all, Chris? Might be just because I'm in the room and you're hearing me speak before it goes through there. No, he's not hearing no echo. Do you have it, honey? You have it playing in two different locations.
I do.
Yes. Sorry about that. Mrs. Tabletop heard an echo and she couldn't understand why. And she had it playing through Discord as well as YouTube. So that would cause the echo. All right.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yes, you can totally do that. All right. So, welcome to a early morning tabletop workshop. I'm doing this because I'm bored and I don't want to read right now. I am trying to get to reading because I'm trying to get around to the Dresden Files. Give me 1 second, everybody. I gotta take my medicine. Yeah, I forgot to take my medicine this morning. I was up at like 7:30. Okay, everybody. And Mrs. Table is currently looking for... Well, guys, I did it again. I filled up 2 more bookshelves. And I'm not done. I'm not done. I like books. Books is the new thing of reading. But I know a lot of people like to do tabletop gaming, so here we are. Here real quick because we have some chat and discussion. I'm going to post this again. I'd like to welcome everybody to my stream. I'm Tabletop Junkie. And this is my stream here. We do a lot of things. We do tabletop reviews, workshops, all kinds of things, all involving tabletop too. I just don't do any tabletop news because that seems very freaking depressing these days. So I don't want to do any news. I don't want to do depressing stuff. I want to do fun stuff that we actually like to do. So here we are today. We're actually going, so if you do feel like tipping, the funds do go back right into my channel. I'm currently at $50. I'm trying to raise it to $200. If we can get that up there, that'd be great. I'll tell you what, if we double my funds, if I make another $50 before the end of this stream, I will definitely host another stream later on today, and we'll actually have some tabletop fun. It's kind of up in the air if I'm actually going to do it or not, but like I said, give me some incentives. Give me an incentive to do it. People like incentives. And if not, maybe I'll just do it anyway. I don't know. So, we are here to talk about Hexcrawl. Okay, so I'm not an expert at Hexcrawl. Of course, I've been getting a lot of mixed signals, and I hope to God nobody else sees this. Certain people do not see this video today because they might think I'm talking about them, and we're just going to remain nameless. I have a friend who got me into Hexcrawl, but then kept saying, oh, I'm doing too much in Hexcrawl, and then I'm not doing enough. I'm getting a lot of mixed signals. Okay, Hexcrawl is not that, like, very advanced evasive system to where, or evasive type of thing to where you are going to basically, it's not that difficult. So I don't understand how I could be doing it wrong. Alright. I was just making a post here on my feed. So yeah, I never fully understood how I could be doing it wrong. All this other stuff. It's weird to me to be having this conversation with that said person, because that said person has, is the reason why I'm actually getting into it. So, or like why I've gotten into it. And Hexcrawl is mostly, I feel, for solo type people who like to solo games, or may just do it just get a kick out of it. I'm gonna show you a little bit about that. So Hexcrawl is where you randomly generate likely scenario of terrain, and then you generate the scenario within that terrain. We're going to show some examples today. I actually have created last night with a hex stencil, which I'm actually getting a bunch of hex stencils coming in today that allow me to actually create lines in certain ways, because I'm just not that fantastic of a drawer. Really not. So, I guess we're going to start off with... So, I mean... Hexcrawl can be used for... creating hex maps can be used for basically rapid campaign development, as most people would say, or just basically defining a campaign by its adventures instead of, like, having a story. There's a lot of different ways to go about this. We're going to go about this the only way that I feel like I know how. And that's just going to be randomly generating some stuff. So, to randomly generate, you can use a dice roller online. Me, I'm going to use actual dice, because what's the point of having actual dice if you never freaking use them? And you guys might see them in my camera, because I will also have a camera up. And, you know what? While we're doing this, we're going to play some nice music here. Let's see. Here we go. I'm going to get some music playing in here for us. This is from Tabletop Audio. I think we're going to start with just some tavern music, everyone. If it gets a little loud, let me know. We're going to actually put that behind us. You guys can hear it, but for some reason I can't hear it. There we go. Alright, that should be good enough. A little bit of tavern music here. I'm going to keep my mic all the way up, so that way you guys can actually hear my voice. How am I sounding now, Chris or Mrs. Tabletop? Okay, good. Alright, as long as the music's not a little overtaking. I had to turn it down a little bit because of that's just how it comes in, default. It comes in as the loudest that you can make it. So, crazy. Alright, and for some reason, oh no, that's the right side up. So, here we go. We're going to create a hex. I'm not sure what terrain this is going to be yet. I'm going to roll a d10. There we go. We got our first hex right in here. And I like doing this on grid paper, because you can actually color in a box and say, because this is like 8 miles right here. Some people say try to use it as like a 10-mile marker. And it's like if you go this way, or this way, it's 10 miles. If you go below it, it's like half that, so 5 miles. Some people even use 12-mile markers and stuff like that. So I need to pull out a D10 actually. And I got some dice right here. Look at that. And I'm going to promote them today. Castles and Crusades by Troll Lord Games. So, alright, we have dice laying everywhere. Yes, we have dice in drawers and stuff like that. But anyway, definitely love this symbol right here, and I still use this bag. This comes out every Friday. We are going to be gaming tomorrow in Castles and Crusades, the Chronicles of Paramore, our main quest. Last night, we actually started playing a one-shot. it was part of an old D&D campaign back in '89. But I figured it'd be kind of nice. Actually, and today I'm going to do some writing for it to actually, because I found out I started filling out some of the settlements a little bit differently. And I'm just getting more stuff done with Paramore as we speak. It's crazy. I don't want to, like, cover myself up. There we go. Poor Spartacus couldn't be here today. I'm still on vacation, and I'm enjoying it very much. Alright, I got a 3. So, I do have a chart. I actually listed a bunch of charts. You guys could also go to this website here. I'm going to post it. This is Welsh Piper's Hex-based campaign design. This is for the first part. That's pretty much all I use is the first and second part. I'm going to post it right in there. Go ahead and check that out. Alright, so let's get started with what terrain I just rolled. I did make up my own chart as well using Excel. And so I have 10 terrains. I have desert, forest, hills, jungle, mountains, plains, swamp, ocean, snow, and volcano. The last two I actually added snow and volcano because in some cases you may be in a winter tundra and that's all you may have for like a while. And volcano actually ends up changing the environment based on all the stuff that goes through. And I am so sorry I'm not on. I feel like I should just leave my stuff on Do Not Disturb. I feel like that's the only time I'm actually going to be able to get any freaking peace. Alright. So I rolled a 3. I'm having my second cup of coffee. Alright, so I rolled a 3, and on my chart, a 3 is some hills. So, so getting some extra things, like you can, like, I'm getting some things where I can make perfect wavy lines and whatnot, so we're going to generate some hills. So, to make sure that we know that this is the hill, we're going to go perfect like that. There we go. We got some hills here. Maybe if I... There we go. We have hill terrain. That's pretty much it. Now, if you want to rub it in, yeah. Now, if we want to generate a couple more hexes, we can. My recommendation is make it circle it everywhere where it has an exit point. So we have exit points here, 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 and here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 exit points. So we're gonna make a couple more, and then I think we're gonna generate some stuff with inside of this. Chris, I don't know what you think I'm rubbing it in. I'm saying, man, I miss you. We didn't have to deal with that with being at work. You could be here with me, and we could be gaming all day. Now, I had a stencil last night where I was using this hex right here versus the big one. My recommendation, as you can actually probably guess right here, this is something I was doing last night. So that one versus that one. And I actually ended up making this because I was playing around with some ideas. I even played around with some making symbols and stuff. You know, my drawing sucks, but at least the hex look okay. So, The thing I like about using stencils is you can almost make it perfect. And if not, I have perfect things around that. Alright. So we got a couple more hexes. Now I gotta roll 60-10 and see what terrain is at. Now, we can, if we check out the website, that would have been nice. Yeah, it would have been nice. We could sit around, game, take a break. We could have had a 6-hour stream. Would have been crazy. All right, so if you go to the Welsh's Piper's rules and templates for Hexcrawl, you will see that there is basically primary terrain type and what likelihood terrain would have been around hills. Well, with hills being primary, some primary other terrain that would be likely around here is a bunch of hills. Of which, if that is true, then this could have been. This is probably going to be an entire canyon. Some secondary terrain could be mountains, some desert. If there's desert, maybe there's a rocky desert or some high sand dunes. Some tertiary is on these hills is forests, which if there's a forest, it's probably forested hills. Plains, it's pretty much just a freaking forest. And then the one wild card is you put in a freaking lake. There could be a lake in one of these. We don't know. So I guess we just got to figure out. Now you can go off of that, or you can just randomly generate the stuff yourself. If you want to randomly generate the likelihood of that, you could do the 1d12, which is this die here, and we can kind of roll that and see what the next hexes are going to be. I'm going to say, very simply put, oh, I was just reading ahead, sorry. Very simply put, we're just going to do one at a time and see what the likelihood of it being. So our primary is going to be hills. And if we get primary again, then we are going to roll on some other die here. So let's see what we got here. So I got to roll 6 of these bad boys, and I think I only have 1d12. Of course, if I actually go looking for more, I can find more. Okay, here we go. You know what? We're going to roll 2 at a time. 3 at a time. That way that takes care of everything. I don't want to roll too many. Especially in a small dice tray that I have here. Oh, looks like the music stopped. Let's see if I can get something else going real quick. Yep, music stopped. That was like 10 minutes. Oh, that was some nice tavern music. Let's do, since we're actually getting ready to go on an adventure. Here's from Tabletop Audio as well. I can't hear anything. Oh, now I can. Next time we need a better time. Better time. I tried to best time our vacation out there. The time you actually had your vacation, I was trying to take mine as well. Alright, so here we go. No, I don't want another one down here. I think I'm good. As I was just saying, and you weren't listening, I was just trying to figure out what we got. Alright, so we're going to start from left to right because I'm an American and that's what we do. Alright, so the first one, we are, you know what, I've just randomly ordered this, so I'm going to do it like this. So the first one we scored a 9. According to this, it's generally a secondary terrain of hills that takes place. So we could go with mountains or desert. I think I'm going to roll percentile and see which one gets the highest number. Alright. Desert got 2. Mountains got 36. So it's going to be mountains. Mountains is going to go right here. So to get some mountains in here, we are actually going to just go like. Go. So we got some mountains on the so we got some mountains right here. All right. So the next one is a 6, and with mountains it's likely. All right. So a 6. So it's primary. So it looks like we might be in a freaking valley. There you go, we got some hills right there. And then the last one is a 1, which is also primary. That means right here as well we got some more hills. There we go. So this direction we got mountains, this direction we got a bunch of hills going. So great for that. Alright, so let's Alright, so now, what do you consider here? Well, this is primary, this is secondary. Generally, we have these two hogging all converging on this space right here. Like these, because this one's blank. And we do left to right. So, and with this being hills, the likelihood of this being hills is probably likely because it's 2 hills. It's kind of like merging stuff together. Like, 1 + 1 = fish. I mean 2. Yeah, we're all there. So, we have mountains and hills. Alright, so mountains and hills are both primary to this, so we could make this like very, very easily. Mountains and hills tend to actually create a pass. So this actually could be blank. Right here. Could be, essentially. There is a... So this could be like a mountain pass, which means this will probably be a mountain. So this would be like plains or whatever. You know, like a path. So this says for that to happen, we have a 40% chance. So I guess we just gotta score 40 or under. And I scored a 9. So that's exactly what that is. I'm actually going to look up a mountain pass symbol. Oh, gave me a bunch of hex images here. Let's see. I'm pulling some things up right now for it. Meanwhile, we know what that one's going to be, so let's get the likelihood of this one. So that's just some hills there, so we can roll for that one. And we can roll for this one. Alright, so the first one is a 12, and the second one is a 12. So, oh, okay, the legend already came up. Well, we'll get there in a minute. Alright, so a 12 is a wild card to some hills by themselves. So this could be essentially water. It is the only wild card next to some hills. So this is like all water right here. Nothing but water. So a water symbol could just be blue. I guess we could make a coastline, but I'm not sure that would work. I think my internet's moving slowly. I hope I'm coming through. Yeah, I'm dropping in network. Man, that is so weird. May have to just do a restart on the network. Might want to lower the music a bit. Alright. I put it at 35. Yep. I mean, I'm switching corners here. I'm gonna probably be doing some things because my changing some things around because my webcam stand actually just broke today. It's probably because of the constantly moving it around and stuff. Wasn't good for it. So, all right, here we go. Okay, so according to the hex map for a mountain pass, and make sure I'm drawing this right to where you guys can see it. So we go. Maybe it'd be better if I draw it like this. Okay. I imagine this one would probably be up here a little bit more. So it's not going to line up. Maybe. I don't know if it'll line up perfectly or not. Let's see if I can. Alright, and you're going to want to seal off this part too, because this is water, because water's right there. This is something else, we don't know what that is, and that's part of the mountain. So this is a pass between these two right here. So you got mountains and water and whatnot. Alright, and this is all water, so I guess to mark that as water, because water doesn't really have, like, I mean, don't really have symbols for water. Let me see. What is the hex map or symbols for water? It's literally a freaking just a color on a hex map. There's like, you don't really make anything on that. Alright, the music stopped a little bit. Let's see if we can get another one powered up here. You know what? I'm going to do my favorite one. There we go. Alright, so we've got some nice things going on here. For some reason, got a mountain pass that leads to this hex. I don't know. There's something probably in this hex. This is water, so we're going to leave that one blank for now. And then we got number 12 for right there. Alright, so number 12, I believe, is a wild card. And we are strictly wild card for hills, which is actual water as well. So here is an ocean, everybody. You know what? I have colored pencils, and I just dropped my fucking pencil sharpener. The story of my life, people. The story of my life. I probably gotta go out and get more colored pencils today. Or not. You know, I like having my own stuff too, you know. Just saying. I could burn through all this stuff easily. Alright, we're gonna just do some blue here. I'm actually gonna just outline this. And colored pencils are better than pens or markers. Great. Between this, we got 8 miles and 8 to 10 miles of ocean here and here. That's a lot of ocean. Wonder what's in it. Or at least lake or something. I have a program where I can actually make this easily. I'm thinking about investing in Worldographer, but... Alright, so here we go. Ocean and something else, so I don't know. If we want to know what this area is right here, I guess we could do another round, but I don't feel like I want to. The stream's already been going for 35 minutes. And me and Mrs. Table do have to go out to eat, but, you know, at some point, we're actually taking some time away from the kids for a bit. A giant sea monster. Yeah, we could have a giant sea monster. Well, let's start setting up some issues here, okay? We have all of this space to work with. So we're gonna say easily this is 10 miles. Each hex is 10 miles. So 10, 10, 10, or 5, 5, 5, whatever. We're gonna say it's 10 miles to go from each one. If you're set up, if you have something set up here, here, and here, it's going to be 5 miles across from here to here. And if you go north, apparently it's 10. That's how some of the rules work, so I guess that's what we're going to go with. Alright, so now that we got this set up, let's move on to the next issue, which is basically setting up issues. That's weird how that came up. Which is not really issues. It's called encounters, people. Okay. So, in hills, there's a 40% chance of a major issue. And if I'm not mistaken, 40% of a major issue and... Okay, so roll once for each Atlas Hex, and then roll this many 6s each time. Okay, so the first thing we got to do is roll my percentile die for a major encounter. Encounters can be anything from... That is the wrong one. Reroll that. I didn't even roll percentile. This is the right ones. 48%. So only 40% chance of a major encounter. Looks like we did not make it. Good morning, Witch King. We all have issues, Chris. I don't want to hear it. All right. So, our very first hex that we rolled on was this one right here. So, no major encounter. Now, I gotta roll 4d6s for minor encounters, which could be strange weather patterns, monsters, or monsters, dungeons, or even civilizations. The major encounters have a smaller and higher chance to having some of those issues be more prevalent. But unfortunately, we don't have anything major in this region. So I'm gonna roll 4. Each result of 1 indicates a minor encounter. Okay, and then everything else. So we have 1 in 6 chance out of 4d6s. So I'm gonna roll these. All right. No encounters. We do have 1-1 though. So now there's another chart on the website. And Witch King, if you want to follow along, and if anybody else wants to follow along, where I'm getting this information from, you could check out Welsh's Piper's hex mapping thing. There you guys go. All right, and this is part 2. This is coming up with encounters. So minor encounters is a 1d20. Many different things can happen here, while major encounters are 1d6s. And damn near anything can happen. So let's figure that out. I get to roll 1d20. Look at this. I love rolling dice. 13. So there's a crossing, a bridge, ford, or pass. 20% chance that it's in disrepair. If serviceable, 6% that a toll is charged. Oh, ho, ho. Okay. So, what does that mean? Well, it's very, very simple. 20% chance it's in disrepair, if serviceable. So that means there was probably a rock slide in this section here, and it's blocking off some of this hex. And probably 6% chance that it says a toll. Now, does that make any sense to us? Not really. We could just say that this is high end for land raiders. Let's see what we got here. If I roll under 20, I get the 60, which means there's a toll. There's some issues. This whole region's probably battle. If I score over 20 but under 60, it's raiders only. Let's see how screwed we get. I scored under 54, above 20. So there's nothing strange happening with the land, but we do have like a pirate, essentially probably a pirate settlement or some thieves guild. And we're going to place that somewhere on this map. Given the fact that it's going to be probably right here at this entrance, I'm actually going to put it right here. And probably put another settlement right here as well. So we didn't really get any real settlements. Like, these are not settlements per se. They're like encampments guarding this whole situation here, not allowing anyone from coming from this way up in here. And it's probably pretty likely that they also have a camp if they're pirates. They probably are watching the sea from this end. So, which automatically is going to give us like 3 small like camps. So, what are we? I'm trying to think. What are we going to call these guys? We're just going to call them raiders. So this is a whole. So this first hex here is nothing but a bunch of raiders. Doesn't Arbiter of the Worlds talk about how to do hex maps? Yes, and unfortunately I can't read that book right now because I actually got into a intellectual. We're not gonna say it was a debate or an argument because it wasn't one of those. Which King we got me and Ironcaster got into. He came over and we were talking, and we actually got into an intellectual conversation regarding GMing, and something he said was exactly quoted from the book, and I actually pulled the book out, quoted it. He asked to borrow it, and in exchange of borrowing, I'm borrowing his BX class builder book, which now I'm gonna have to show you guys that Arbiter Worlds by Alexander Marcus. I don't know how to say his last name. So yeah, I loaned that to Ironcaster to read because I figured it'd be a good read for him. And I said, dude, you quoted it right here. And he quoted something from the book and didn't even realize he did. He actually never read it. So that's why he asked to borrow it. So I loaned it to him. Mark Reese. Okay. Mark Reese. Okay. I cannot see that. I don't know why. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can get this. Let me see if I... Macris. That's right. So, yeah. I loaned it to him a couple weeks ago. So, he's reading it right now. I actually found a lot of things in that book very enlightening for GMing Worlds. I don't think I got to the hex map part yet. And if I did, that's great because I do have a bookmark in there somewhere. I just forgot what chapter I left off. But I think even if I got to it, I may reread it for this alone. So, so we have a couple things right there. All right, let's move on to now. We still have like all these other hexes to come around. It looks like we still have like the mountains to count for and whatnot. So let's see what's in the mountains. We're gonna hit play on this again. I like the Wizard's Tower. You probably should have used hex paper. Yeah, I don't have hex paper at the moment. This is what I have to work with. So, that's what I'm doing. And I actually got more of these coming in with this size hexes. Although the only good news about this is I do have a hex map, a real dry erase hex map that's rolled up right now because it's made out of a special type of foam, and you can actually draw on it. It's actually very awesome. All right, so let's start drawing up some mountains here, guys. Let's see what kind of adventure lies in some of these mountains. Looks like, if we try to go anywhere else, we're gonna get freaking robbed. Okay, so 20% of a major encounter, and then 2d6s this time. Well, let's see. Can I roll lower than 20%? I rolled a 7. Damn, if I was playing Call of Cthulhu, I'd be kicking ass. So there's a major encounter and no minor encounters. Okay, so we got a major encounter. Woo! My next roll is going to be a d6. A 2. There's a fortress, a large fortified holding a noble self-styled lord, always armed a garrison. Woo! So we're going to, there's a fortress in these mountains. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to start numbering these. 1. Alright, so I'm actually going to pull up some paper real quick. Pull up Notepad. Alright, so I have no idea why this notepad is so freaking big. Alright, so did you just seriously print that out just to prove me wrong while I'm on stream? That's rude. You should be able to print some out. Yeah, Witch King, you're too late. I saw the paper first. I don't want to talk to you because I just bought some stencils too for like $14. Now you're telling me that was a waste of my time. You sure? Are you sure? Hang on, everybody. We're going to take a quick break because I've got a bunch of people coming down. Here's some nice hold music. Alright, I'm back. Before we make any notes, another thing I do want to talk about is identifying which hex we are always talking about. And my favorite way of doing it is giving it 4 digits. Because you don't know how much you're going to make the, you don't know how many hexes you're going to make. I do. I know how many hexes I'm gonna make. Not enough to go into all those digits, but we've got it. All right. So these raider camps could be anything. They could be orcs, whatnot. So we got Hex 000. We have number 1. Raider Camp. Hex number 2, Raider Camp. Hex number 3, Ocean Raider Camp. And then in Hex 001, we have a Noble Fort. We're going to call it Mountain Keep. Now it says here that they would have a garrison. Which wides by time can be anywhere from average, depending. I would say before 18th century or medieval times. The garrison has anywhere from 10 men up to, I'd say, about 200. You know, in some cases, in some cases they had 500 soldiers. I guess it varied. I'd say at most 500 people are at the keep. So it's not like a big place. It's actually kind of like, I would say about a Thorpe. Thorpe size or very, very small town. So that's what we're going to say for that one. So we've got Raider Camp, and whatever the fuck that is up there. Death worshipping halflings? Probably. We probably got those somewhere. Alright. Let's do the next one. We're back at hills again. Looks like we got that for a while. Now, if you guys remember correctly, hills have a 40% chance of having a major issue. And I got 65, so no issues there. But I get to roll 4d6s for the miners. And yes, I love rolling dice. We're going to roll some dice for this in a little bit. Alright, looks like I got one issue. And I get to roll a d20 for it, because it's minor. 12. Ooh, wow. Okay. 3. The one thing I do like about using grid is you can count up how big these things are and count how many miles is between, count how many of these are. So let's count the whole squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3. That's a whole square. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 28. So we got basically from the furthest point to the furthest point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 high, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide, which is usually about 36 area, square mile, like square area, but it's under 10 miles. So we could do this one way. We counted 28 squares. If you want, you could just say, okay, out of a 10-mile radius, right? Let's measure this in feet, shall we? Not feet. We'll do this. Each square is roughly 0.36 of a mile. So, mile to feet. And I'm going to put 0.36. If you want to get technical, that's like 2,000 feet. So, I have roughly 6,000 feet worth of burial ground. This is 2,000, that's 2,000, that's 2,000. Look at that. So, how many miles is... So, I guess we can ask ourselves, how many miles is that, right? I'm going to figure that out. 6,000 miles, or 6,000 feet. That's roughly 1.1 mile across. That's pretty much about it. So, we have 1 mile of... This is, number 6 is an ancient sacred burial ground. Probably some ghosts live there. Alright, now we got Hex 003. Let's see what other issues we can come up with for these hills. 'Cause it looks like between the raiders and whatever the hell was going on with that noble king and shit like that, apparently there was a war that happened here. Look, you're even generating a story. Ah. 93. No issue there. And looks like we got a couple here, so I get to roll 2d20. 9 and 20. Seems like it gets worse the higher you go up. Alright, 9 is a construction site. And 20 is a gathering place. A meeting place relatively freely from outside influences. Great. Well, let's work on the construction site, shall we? Alright, so the construction site, we roll a d6. I got a 6. It's a religious center. So, we're gonna... religious center there. And then the next thing is a gathering place. We're gonna put it. And what is oh, I roll a d6 for that too. And I got a 6. Woohoo! Okay. Alright. So in this hex, it looks like we have a religious center. So they're probably the overseers of the battlefield over there. And then the other ones is basically a, what do you call it? Oh God, what do you call it? What do you call those monastery? There we go. Alright, let me check comments out here because I've been kind of on one screen. You bastards move the headstones without moving the bodies? Why? Moving the body. Is this Paramore? No, Witch King, this is not Paramore. No, this is just me doing something random. Paramore looks a little bit different. I think I might share the map on that because I'm trying to finish up the one whole continent we're in because I'm actually almost done with it. I've gotten all the notes together to actually place everything out. Okay. Well, let's see if we can get a different song on here. Like I said, all this music is copyright free of Tabletop Audio. You got a problem? Go towards them. I don't care. I'm just trying to provide good music while talking. Alright, this is called Skyship. So, alright, so we only have 3 more hexes left. Alright, so we're going to do Hex 004, which is supposedly all ocean. This is interesting. Sparta Chris, I hope you're still here, because now you're going to see me generate issues for an ocean. Which doesn't actually generally have any issues, I guess. Oh, wait, I rolled the wrong one. 20%. Unfortunately, only 10% chance for a major encounter. And only 1d6. 5. Nothing there. Alright, let's roll it again. 84%. Nope. And 5 again. Nope. Alright, so nothing there. And then 006, which is strange because we got mountains, hills, a little bit of water, that's a path. Well, that's just a pass. So I don't think we're going to generate anything for a pass. So there we go. There we got it, everybody. That is pretty much everything we actually have for right now for this section. It looks like most of the stuff is off in this direction. All right. I do have... All right, so I'm going to mark... So we could have like creatures show up in the middle of everything. Let me hit save to this. In case I want to roll a nice in case I want to roll up a nice character, a couple characters, and we do a dungeon dive. Real quick, I actually like to point out, for those who are new to the stream, if you are listening in, my name is Tabletop Junkie. I'm about everything tabletop. I do have a link right here. I do urge you to please like and subscribe as I'm trying to move up in subscribers. And if you feel like tipping, I do have a link right here for tipping. All the funds that you tip me for do go back into my channel. I am trying to raise up to $200 for my first channel expansion. First channel expansion is going to allow me to create. I'm looking at trying to create a podcast that I will be willing to. It will be using a game system that is strictly storytelling. So I am looking to try and get help on those. Gathering those so that way I can bring you more podcast stories and some nice fun. How about the part of the theme of the song? Maybe floating airship docking platform? Maybe. Maybe. So, anyway, we got those. Well, since I got a little bit of time, shall we make some more hexes real quick? So, if you want to go one more out and you're feeling overly zealous, all you have to do is make sure you cover all the new sections here. You just don't do down here. You do off to the sides a little bit. Just don't do the major top parts, like going north in that way. And if I make it to $50 in tips today, because I already have $50 to go towards that, and I'm only looking at 200 more. If I get to go to $50 in tips today, you will have yourself a nice stream. And you know what? I'll make it even a little bit better. If I make it to 100 tips, up to $100 in tips today, Spartacus and I will host an all-day Sunday event. Chris, you're drafted. And I will get everyone in where we play from morning, and we will play one long game of Castles and Crusades. And we will go on a huge adventure. Like Lord of the Rings style. Lord of the Rings style, not necessarily Lord of the Rings. Okay, so we can take a minute and probably fill in some of these gaps here. Hang on one second, I do have to hit pause on everything. Someone is at my door. Thank you. I totally forgot I was muted. Everything's okay. No, it was just someone was picking someone up, so that's all. Oh, let me get my music back here, because I can't hear nothing. I'm pretty sure you guys can. Alright, so as I was saying, while we were... Oh my freaking God in heaven. Okay. Sorry about that. Somebody was calling. I don't know why. Alright, so as you guys can see, I generated hexes up to here, and then I just did this one. So according to the source that I'm using, this hex actually shares hills with this hex here. This is a forest with those mountains. That forest is called a forested mountain. Forested mountains, which means there's a forest around this mountain right here, which will actually play a factor going into this hex here, but we will get to that later. And then water right there, because there's this part of the hex shares with those hills, and these hills are supposed to have some water near them. So, as you can see, I just generated it all the way around. If you wonder what that is, 0012 is a desert. There's a small desert surrounded by hills and freaking water. I don't know why the hell that is. But hey, sometimes you get that. These are kind of like the sand dunes. So maybe it's just, so it's not really desert space, because since you generated towards that, this could be considered sand dunes for a beach. So there's probably a beach section right here. Alright, so, hex 5, 4, and 13 are all water, so 14 unfortunately is being water, because 5 and 14 is also water. That will make 15 water. You have a 9% chance, technically it's 8.33 repeating, a 1 in 12 chance of generating any other land in here. The rest of it, anything else, every other number, 11 out of 12 chances, 11 out of 12, you're going to basically be generating more water. Real quick, I'm going to roll that, and then it's water again. So far we generated about 40 miles worth of open ocean, 50 miles worth of open ocean or lake. 50 miles in almost all directions, which that's not so bad. So then we're going to jump over to here, which unfortunately it looks like we're going to have to cut straight down here, because this is going to be partially water. This is a pass. We didn't even generate what number 16 is going to be. So this is blank, but the primary is kind of, I guess, still water. So that is kind of weird. We can reset the primary to by doing this actually. And I'm just going to draw a line straight down. By doing this, we can actually make the primary, set it to hills and a mix of hills and water. If we wanted to. I mean, we can pretty much do anything. Or we can just regenerate a new primary. I personally think I'm gonna roll a D10 and generate a new primary right here and see what this is, which is gonna help us get the rest of this going. I got a 10. Okay, so the new primary happens to be a freaking volcano. So this shares probably whatever a volcano will be. Yeah. This probably just shares a little bit of ash. So we got a volcano right there. So volcano actually doesn't share much of anything on land. Volcanoes can actually show up anywhere on any type of land. So it's not real terrain, but you know, I like to use it as that because it gives me a round number of 10. Alright, so now that means we have to generate hex number 17. There's volcano right there, which doesn't operate as anything other than a wild card. And then it looks like we got a pass right here. We have an ability to Let's see. We're going to go through some hexes here. So, because there's a pass, this is going to be mountains. This is going to be God only knows what. So let's get... go. So this is like open, like an open pass between mountain ranges, and that looks to be probably just a bunch of land of ash. We could probably just... I'm not making that water. Let me color this in a little bit. Volcano, deadlands. That's probably just gonna be deadlands, and then God only knows what this is. All right. So we're going to generate a new primary and see what comes up. I actually haven't set volcano to any of this yet, but, you know, kind of. Or Shireen. There we go. I'm actually working on some of my own charts, which is going to add in a few other things. I just have to get around to finishing it. So, all right, let's generate number 17, shall we? 3. All right, number 3 according to my charts is, oh, for God's sake. Okay, we're back to this. Alright, so it looks like we're making hills again, everybody. So, this is going to be hill terrain. Minor hill terrain. And it looks like this might be at a higher elevation than this, because this is supposed to be a pass between mountains, so this would be a lower elevation right here. So, yeah, very possibility that these hexes are at a higher elevation, which could actually means that this has a bad tendency of flooding. But we will concern ourselves with that in a little bit. Alright, so the last hex is Hex 19, which looks like we got forested mountains, mountains, and mountains. So it looks like mountains is going to be the primary. So that's how you set up for primaries and whatnot. You just see what's around and see what's likely to be there. So it looks like the mountains have become primary in this section here. And I got a 5. So consulting the information. that would be considered primary. So it looks like these are all mountains. All right, and it looks like that is it, everybody. All right, so I guess we could just generate some concerns. We're not going to generate anything for this hex because there's just too much going on in there. We're going to leave that for the wilds, of that world, of this portion here. We do have stuff for ocean, so let's get ready to generate some issues. Or my personal thing, adventure. Alright, so the first thing is going to be water. Only 10% chance. And I rolled a 64, so no issues there. We got a 1d6, and I got a 4, so no issues there. Now we're going to Forested Hills, which is going to just be strictly hills. It's just just because it's got a forest around them and it's hilly, doesn't mean jack shit. Okay, so we do have a major encounter. One major encounter, so I gotta roll a d6 on that, and I will in a minute. And it looks like we're gonna roll for one minor encounter. One major, one minor. So we're gonna roll for our major. And I got a 6, which is a natural phenomena. Ooh. Geothermal activity, peculiar growth or blight, and oasis growth. Could be a number of things we could have, or an unseasonal or intense weather. I have intense weather in Paramore. I have intense weather that's transported people from one section to another. And it's going to be... Okay, so all of this is severe overgrowth. That is it. Yeah, that is it. Just severe overgrowth. So, we have to actually write that in. So we have, let's see, we have hexes 0, 8, and 0. Hexes 8 and 9 have nothing. And unfortunately, this one has. What are we gonna call it? We're gonna call it. We're not even gonna put a number on it. We're gonna put severe plant and fauna overgrowth. That's the one issue that we have, which is gonna cover the whole hex. So we're gonna call it hex environment. We're not gonna put a number on it or anything because we still have this to roll. 13 for a minor encounter. And the minor encounter is, well, it says a crossing. We're actually not going to go with that. We're going to go with a little something a little bit. We're going to roll again. See what we come up with. All right, 8. Let me see if I can roll a 1d6 on this one. And it's a 1. And I'm going to put it right here. And we're going to put a number 9. So that's going to be called a Rangers Guild. So one, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 8 is the Rangers Guild. go. All right. And then that's that for hex number 10. Now we just got to do 11 and on, which we're back to hills again. So this is pretty much it, and you can kind of generate whole adventures from this. Like, I don't know what kind of story I'm kind of getting, but oh wow, there is a major encounter here. Great. And then 4d6s again. No minor encounter, so just a major encounter. A 2. Which is another fortress. Maybe this is ran by the same person who... So we got another keep right here. We're gonna call it Soldier's Keep. There we go. Alright, and then we're gonna go to 12, which is usually sand dunes. So, yeah, I don't know who let's see. It kind of goes along the lines of desert, but, you know, I guess we could do an average of hills and water to get that up. So, let's see. 40%, water 10%, that'd be roughly 30%. Divide by 2, 25% at most. We'll say 20%. We're just going to go with the, we're going to make it easy on ourselves. We're just going to go with that. If I roll under 20%, there's no issue, or there's going to be a major concern. And nope, I did not. And then I get to roll, let's see, nope, just 2 of these. And it looks like I got 1 minor issue. 7. 7 in the sand dunes. 7 in the sand dunes. There's a camp. There's a camp. Thinking this could be a raider camp if I put it like right here. That means the raiders are watching from here to here. So this whole section of land is protected by raiders, which is probably not a good idea. So some barbarians or something. We're gonna put it right here. This is basically a messenger's guild. They deliver messages for everybody. I know, right? Freaking messenger's guild. Did it again. Alright, so the Soldiers Guild is 9. 10 is a Messenger's Guild. There should be sound. Oh, that was a while ago, honey. Okay. Alright, now, generally for the last part of this, we've been talking for damn near 2 hours. So, really, there's no way to set up for volcano, and the ocean only has 10%. So we're going to skip 16, but we are going to at least roll for... I already rolled for, I think, 5 and 4. I need to roll for 13, 14, and 15. Nope. Only 10% chance of major events for each one. Nope. And then I believe 1d6. So, nope. Nope. Okay, so 15 looks like it's got a minor situation there. Let's see. Let's see if I can roll something and make it make sense. 12. Okay. I'm not going to just do one little section. I'm going to do a big section. In the middle of the ocean. So this is apparently, I rolled Sacred Burial Ground. So I would say this is going to be called Shipwreck Cove. A lot of exploration here. Let me see if I can at least generate the hills. Anything for the hills. For the hills have eyes. No. Alright. Oh, well, I got 3 issues. I get to roll 4. 3 D20s. So 8, 19, do I have another D20? I do. And 20. Oh, God.
How many do you need to do another one?
No, I'm good. All right. So, okay, we're going to roll a D6 on that. Alright, so it looks like right here we have a guild. What kind of guild? I have no freaking clue. I guess we'll have to figure that one out. I will probably figure that out off stream because I don't want to keep bogging down. Alright, 19 and 20. Supernatural and unexplained effect exists here. Okay, let's see here. 4. Alright. So, it looks like there's an environmental concern. Supernatural environmental concern. So this whole hex is under an anti-magic field. No magic can exist in this entire hex at all. And it's also a gathering place for a tribe. Yeah. Don't know what kind of tribe, but I guess we can figure that out again at a later freaking time. A lot of story here. Alright. And then we got... That was not 1-6. 1-6 has nothing. This is Hex 1-7. We're going to call it... Alright. I got 2 more hex to generate, and after that we will call it. So I'm just going to generate these really super quick. Because it's the same thing with mountains and mountain ranges. A lot of things can happen. Not so much actually. It's only 20%. I was wrong. It's the hills that everything happens in. Oh, well, something major did happen in this one. And one thing minor. All right. Well, let's see what the one major thing is at the very least. Okay. So we have the lair, and it's gonna go right here in the freaking mountains. That is a dungeon. It's a monster's lair. Alright, and then the one minor thing. 13. Already has that, so I guess we'll just leave it like that. So there's a monster's lair right up there. And then we're just going to generate one more. 35%. I think mountains is 20. So yep. And then just 2 of these and see what we come up with. Just one more issue. Number 4. And another monster's lair. Alright, there we go. Alright, so I guess... Alright, so that's pretty much everything here. I guess I could come up with, see what this is about. Alright, so now the next thing you just want to do is... Alright, so you generated this entire map, right? So, what kind... The hills are alive with the sound of music. Yes, yes. So I guess we have to come up with what story exists here. Well, there's a lot. We just generated a shipwreck cove, which is an ancient burial ground. Another ancient burial ground. This is like This is essentially 8,000 feet of dead bodies and ships out in the middle of the ocean. There's a lot of things that can be explored there. You could probably loot that location there. We have 3 raider camps inhabiting the main core of this one piece of land. It looks like we actually have some religious people here watching this burial ground. We have a monastery. We have a messengers guild. And we just have a bunch of stuff we can just really look into. And then it looks like, once again, we have a passing here. Now, I would say the passing would go one more hex over, so if we had to do that, let me put this hex here. And let's see if I can... I can. So that means regardless of what's around here and here, we are out of it and in new parts. So I guess at some point, if you want, you explore this region here and move on to the next thing. So I guess you have to determine, alright, so what level, what issues can we come up with and what level will this start with? Well, we're going to start, if I play this through, we are going to, the starting level is 1. And we don't even know what we're going to call this region. We just know it's part of the land. It looks like we do have some keeps, couple noble keeps, but no major settlements or castles, which means we'll probably have to stay at the keeps for basic gear and whatnot, but nothing too major will be there. So I guess we will call this Castles and Crusades Hexcrawl. Hexcrawl Adventure, and we'll be diving into. It will have abilities to dive into dungeons and whatnot, while still dealing with a bunch of this bullshit. And it looks like too, anything we generate off this end will all be ocean. So it looks like we got ocean coming off this way. God only knows what we got coming off this way. This way looks like it'll be ending. So I mean, a lot of possibilities here. A lot of possibilities. So we are going to do that, and maybe I come up with a list of 4 adventurers. They're going to be level 1 adventurers, and we can generate them all later. I'll probably do another workshop today before too long. So if you guys did enjoy that, please like and subscribe to my channel. And that is all that I have at this time. I want to wish you guys a great day. I'm currently going to be spending some time with Mrs. Table real quick and do some other things. So you guys have a great and wonderful evening. Or in this case, afternoon.